mean, my thing too is we may not need to switch if we can kind of see where the hang up is. We
Mhm.
may just be able to let people know what to do. I guess my thing is I'm not exactly sure where people are getting stuck at this point.
Yeah, I would suggest that anyone who actually wants to join the Discord go through this process right now. And so just go to this link, which has the tutorial, and just go through it. And then, okay, someone is saying, I'm trying, but I'm unable to see your group on Discord. At what point are you getting stuck at? So you have to like go through this entire process. And then once you get in, then once you go through these initial steps, then you click on the warp step. And I think that's where everybody gets stuck.
I didn't have the problem. I could connect, basically just follow the steps, and it kind of like brought me in to the channel. But the only thing is like, I was asking what is my beginning in this channel, like where exactly I'm supposed to, what exactly I have to do.
Yeah, I mean, so first thing,
Can you guys hear me okay?
what I'd recommend.
ఇది అదంతా యుఎస్ది.
Okay, let me just mute
So
everyone.
I keep hearing people know.
Yeah, so you can probably unmute yourself and speak. So let's just open the Discord, and I'll sort of go through it.
That'll be great.
Mhm. Okay. So yeah, this channel, the General Stock Talk, is where all the action really happens. And like I tell everybody, the first step is really to take my class. And then in an ideal world, then you can like sort of be able to jump on whatever is being talked about here in a better informed way. I mean, because a lot of the time, for example, USAR, for example, is something that we day traded like 3 days ago. And we saw the signal to day trade. And at that point, it started like jumping, it started going up and then it fell down. It was rising in the nines from like, I think it rose from like 8 to 9. And on that 3 days ago, and then it sort of fell all the way down to sevens. And today it started like rising again. So people are literally here continuing a 3 day day trade. And they were also doing it with like enough, hopefully enough like safeguards in place. Because, like day trading is really, really something that you should do with a lot of knowledge beforehand and a lot of like strategy. So there's that sort of thing. And so in this chat, we often talk about like what news is like what stock might be like really increasing based on a press release it got. Though on days like this, we're not really doing press release plays. Um, Today, a lot of our talk has been about these volatility ETFs, UVIX and SWIX. Again, UVIX and SWIX are not anything that I recommend people should touch without knowing exactly how they work, without having a good idea of strategy. Um, this is so, I mean, your first step really, if you don't know these things, is to take my class. And if you want to like proceed without taking my class, then you just like take the tickers that we mention here and play them at your own risk. It's really up to you. Does that answer your question?
That's right. That's so now I've and another thing I think some it's like for the beginner, if I need to go through some material or anything like that, is there any channel for that for me to
Uh,
start doing it, or is it something
um,
you
so
recommend that I join your class only and then get going from there on?
I mean, honestly, the class, I mean, there are like two different classes, and there are like a ton of there are a ton of material in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And once you finish going through that, and often like with the day trading class, it's just so much material that people have to like listen to it like 3 or 4 times before they really start understanding everything I was talking about. So once you get all of that in, then education is sort of continued in these channels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is stock trading education where I sort of like add like continuations to what I taught in both of those classes. Then in this channel, there's a lot of like due diligence on specific stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are like long-term investing ideas and swing trade ideas, but these are not terribly useful. I feel like this channel, the due diligence for long-term investing is the most useful and is also like stock trading education. And at the end of the day, the one thing that I'm going to keep harping on is that there is a ton of information really needed to learn what to do. And even people who have taken my class, I've seen them struggle because there's still just so much of a learning curve. So, and at the end of the day, once you like finish everything and you get to this point where we're just like talking about really fast moving news and really fast moving things, then you just jump in and then you just start doing the best that you can. But you need a lot of context.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can tell you. And I mean, I think the one difference between my Discord and a lot of the others out there is that I proceed with a lot more caution. And
Mm-hmm.
and everything really hinges on caution to like protect your capital and to make to like, and we're not trying to get the maximum gain. What we're trying to do is get some gain while also protecting your money.
Got it.
And that's
Okay.
what all our strategies are sort of focused on. Because I mean, on many discords, I've seen people just jump in really, really like wildly and
Mm-hmm.
make crazy bets. I do not encourage anyone to do that here. I actually caution against that strongly. So this is all about proceeding with caution.
Got it.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions? Wow. Okay. So, for example, today I'm going to talk about something that I've been, which is a good pick for sort of both long-term investing and swing trading, which is something called TEM, which is Tempus AI, which is a medical AI stock. And this was something that was picked by, I think, rose to prominence earlier this year because Nancy Pelosi bought it. And then it had like a pretty insane run from, hold on, let's change the view to one day. And you can see that it sort of went from like I think it was 30s and it went all the way up to 90. And when I started like really getting into it, it was in the 40s. I swing traded it from I think 47.5 to like 58. And then I sold it and then I started buying it again. And now I have like an average at I have like about 130 or 140 shares at 43. And I will try to like take profit and keep rebuying. I mean, that's just like it's a lather, rinse, repeat sort of process just to like keep um socking away money. And I like them because in it when the market recovers, it really, really jumps up nicely. So that's the sort of stock I look for right now. And that's a lot of my swing trades right now, just because I know that the market's just going to have many, many down days. And when it has a down day and then it recovers, I want stuff that I can sell quickly for a profit at that point. That is my
So,
strategy now.
so Jaya is 43 currently 43.62. Is it a good price or shall we wait a little more to see if it comes in low 40s, yeah,
I mean, it
or
could.
high 30s?
It could. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it absolutely could go to like, and if the market falls even more than now, I mean, like, no, this is the thing that keep seeing people go like, is this the best price I'm going to get it at? They keep expecting you to predict the future, but
Hmm.
at this point, there's no prediction. I can say, I
Yeah.
mean, like, you look at supports, and I know that, I mean, this is already a huge fall. 42 is already a huge fall. And it fell from like close to like to high 40s to low 40s today. And I think at the lowest point when the market was the most panicked, it had gone to 37. But even in the space of a day, it's jumped up from like 37 to 43 today, which gives you an
Okay.
idea of like how quickly
Hmm.
recovery happens for this stock, which is why I like
Uh-huh.
it.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and at the end of the day, it could absolutely go down to like 39.
Obviously, I mean, nobody can predict, right?
Yeah, and I've been just like today itself, I bought it at like 40 and I sold it at 42. Then I bought it again at 41 and I'm holding on to like my 41 lots and some higher price lots in my E-Trade account. And in my Webull account, I'm also holding on to like I've literally bought it from all my accounts. And with the goal is when I'm profitable, I will sell some of it. I might hold on to some of it. That's a strategy that I often employ, is that I
Hmm.
will take some profit, but I will hold what you call runners, which is just like some shares bought at a really low price to see if it's going to go even higher. And what you expect from this market really is a lot of market's going to go down, it's going to go back up a little, it's going to go back down again. I mean, and today is like a pretty huge downturn. But honestly, what we're getting into is such unknown territory and it's so scary. I mean, like the sort of trade wars that maybe set off can really tank not just US economies, but global economies. And if that happens, we're looking, and if we get into a recession, and if this is prolonged, we're looking at we'll be getting, these will be amazing prices.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Hmm.
the future is not predictable. And I sort of look at trading right now as one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. You just like buy the dip, sell the recovery, buy the dip again, sell the recovery, and keep holding on to something when it's super low. And I look at like really long-term recovery and release from this sort of situation as something that'll take years, maybe. So you really have to, if you buy something now, you have to also be willing to hold it at a loss for a while. That's the other thing I keep telling people, because
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, and you also need to have like a lot more cash, because I mean, what I'm all the buys that I'm doing are a fraction of my free cash.
Mm.
Literally a small
Yeah.
fraction, because I'm holding back the rest of my cash for when the market dips a lot more. And I've already been selling stocks. Like I had Google at 135 and I sold it for a profit. Now Google's sort of come back close to it. I had Apple at 170 and I sold it when it was in the 200s. And now I get to rebuy at that price, though actually I'm waiting for it to fall even lower. And then I've got my UX and my SWIX. The best way to go really is to have many things that you're going to play. I do day trades too, though. I mean, I'm not going to, but on days like this where the market is this messed up, I'm not doing any day trading on the news because I'm too scared to. So, and with TEM, for example, I have 120 shares, and I think I'd kept like a sell order of like 20 shares at 44. So I sold 20 shares at 44 and I socked away some profit. And now I'm waiting to buy many more shares if it dips to 39. So I'm with this sort of strategy, you sort of account for the market falling and also rising. And that's all you can do in times like this. So
Jay, you said you don't do day trading on days like this, but on the other hand, you mentioned that you are just buying, you take the profit and sell off, and then you buy again. Are you
I'm
not doing
also
it
holding. I'm also
in a single
holding.
day? Okay, okay,
Yeah, I'm also holding. Like, I mean, I have like, for example, not in this account. In my other account, I have like two RKLB lots bought in the 16s. Um, so I'm like waiting for them to like go up to like a decent enough price before I sell it. I actually sold like 50 shares of one of my RKLB lots in at 16, but I'm holding another 150 shares. So
okay,
like you just sort of like try to sock away profit every day, and that's all you can do in a market like this.
okay, yeah.
And any other questions? Like for example, with Lunar, for example, this is something that I was swing trading, and I've swing traded Lunar like several times, and I've socked away quite a bit of profit. But then I started buying at a point that it was going to fall, and now I'm like really bag holding. So now I'm averaging down my position, and now my average is like 10.97, and I'm trying to buy a lot more if it drops to like 580 to like really reduce. And then at this point, I just want to like get out with a profit eventually here. And I know that Lunar, for example, is a company that is sort of safe to hold for like a while, so I'm not worried. It's a much longer game that I'm playing with Lunar. And this brings me to the other point that you have to be willing to hold at a loss for a while.
So
So
you said you're waiting for it to be at 580, right?
I mean, I say I've got like 370 shares at an average of 10.97. I'm really waiting for a big fall to pick up more.
Okay,
But in the meantime, from my other account, which is E-Trade, I've bought like lots at 680 and at 640. So those are already profitable now, but I'm still waiting for them to like go up higher so I can sell.
okay, yeah,
I mean, you just have to have like a very multifaceted strategy across your accounts to try to keep making money.
right.
Just a one general question. Uh, So is this like full time if you're doing then you pretty much go on this, but like person like I, if I have only couple of hours in a day,
I mean,
what is the
honestly, you
what
should
is
not be
the
staring at this all the time. Just have a strategy, keep
Hmm,
limit buys. You don't need to be, I mean, honestly, I've found that the more time you spend staring at at the stock market, the more mistakes you make.
got it.
It's much better to like have like a really clear strategy and say, okay, I'm going to have limit buys. This is the price. I mean, and that's where like in my day trading class, I talk about like support lines and like support lines on the day, on the week. And then, so like support levels are levels that they may fall to in a big fall. So when you know where the supports are, you can keep limit buys at those supports and just wait for something to fall to those supports and then sell when you're profitable. I mean, you don't have to be like watching it all the time. And if you are on an H1 visa, you can't be doing this full time. It'll be a violation of your visa.
Mhm.
You can't
Yeah.
even be, I would like definitely avoid being tagged as a pattern day trader. And a pattern day trader is someone who is considered a full-time day trader. And to
Mhm.
hit that status, you need to be having over a certain amount of money in your account, like over 25K, and you need to be like making like over X number of day trades in a day. You sort of want to avoid that designation,
Mhm.
especially if you're on a visa.
Yeah, I'm not H1, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
But
But
and sorry, another question in terms of like apps that you're using. I think so. You're using Webull. I'm using Robinhood. Do you think that any particular apps is good? I know you're referring to E-Trade as well.
I mean, I like E-Trade because it allows me to sell specific lots, whereas Webull averages. Robinhood allows you to sell specific lots, which is good. But the one thing I really, really don't like about Robinhood is that the pre-market opens really late. It
Mm.
opens at, I think, 7 a.m. CST, whereas Webull pre-market opens at 4 a.m., which is awesome. And there's a lot of on like for like when you want to day trade, there's a lot of good like opportunities that can arise many days at 6 a.m.
Hmm.
So or if I want to like sell something pre-market for a quick recovery, then again, you can't do it on Robinhood until like 7 a.m.,
Yeah,
which I consider like a big sort of negative.
opportunity lost. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for clarifying.
So does anybody else have any questions? Otherwise, I'll just like talk about generally, I think what we're waiting for right now is the resolution between what's going on with US and China, because that's really keeping the market very, very nervous because we're hitting where the US is really like imposing huge tariffs on China, and China is a pretty big trade partner. And they're waiting for China to make its counter move. And that's a situation that can create a lot of panic short term. So there is that thing to monitor as well. And it's really impossible to predict how it's going to go.
Is there any group where you suggest any stocks on daily basis?
That's the Discord. That's where, I mean, we're constantly talking about stocks every day on the Discord. I mean, we're talking about it at 6 a.m. We're talking about it at 7 a.m. We'll be talking about it on weekends. We're really keeping on top of things in that Discord. That's the only place that I do it.
Yeah, I have a general question about Discord.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time on Discord, and I'm not getting any notifications, like pop-up notifications or any notifications on phone if everyone is not mentioned. I mean, if my name is mentioned, obviously that is not mentioned. And if everyone is mentioned, only then I'm getting notifications. I've checked everything. I have turned on all sort of notifications, but I'm not getting notifications for all messages.
There is a way, but honestly, I don't know if you want it because do you really want a notification every time someone says anything? It'll get annoying really fast.
I understand. I'm just trying to get onto things because I forget to check Discord. So I
There
thought,
is a
okay, I missed the
way.
train. So maybe for a few days I can turn that on.
You can put a
And
notification there.
okay,
All messages, only at mentions, nothing.
And
You-
notification settings. Okay, all messages.
Yeah.
Okay,
I really don't think you want all messages.
maybe for a few days.
It's a,
Yeah, I'll try. It keeps me motivated to keep checking Discord and keep learning things which I've not learned yet. Maybe once I learn or once I get
I mean,
frustrated, I'll turn that off.
honestly, the best way to do it is have the Discord app on your phone, and I keep checking constantly. And I'm like, I don't want to be. You will miss things, but it's just. And obviously, the other thing to really do is use the search feature. For example, if you're going to like look at something like UX, and you can like come up with every message that's ever been said about it using the search bar. And that's like really
Okay.
useful. And then like, for example, if you go to USAR, and then you can like go and read the entire search history.
Hmm.
So that feature is like really useful for getting caught up on what's happening with one particular stock.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
And if no one has any more questions, then we can like wrap up.
To add to be added to the group, may I know if there is any idea or like how will we be able to join the Discord group, because this is the first time for me.
So you have to like just first, do you have a Discord account?
No, I don't.
You need to like follow all the steps in this message to like you go to this link.
Okay.
And then you just like first set up your Discord account, and then you would sign up either for the 3-day trial, which gives you limited access, or you do the full 15 days. Or you pay the $15 per month for like full access for a full month. And
Okay.
the other thing is that, again, the smartest, I know people don't want to invest in learning, and or they feel really, really hesitant about investing in learning, but I feel like there's just so much of a learning curve. And I spend like 2 hours talking continuously just to like fill y'all in on everything that I have learned. And there, even after that, there's so much learning. So I know people don't want to invest in this journey, but unless you can learn from me, learn from anybody else. But even for everything that you see, like all like the suggestions that happen in the Discord, I would suggest not like jumping in without context, because people often just like jump in without a strategy, without knowledge. And it's a very, very dangerous game, especially with the market being so up and down constantly.
Got it.
Yeah. So but anyway, the process to start is this link, and then you just like set up your Discord account, and then you go click on that link, and then you'll be in.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm. If that is it, we will wrap up this meeting now. Thank you all for attending.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah,
Thanks a
one
lot.
question.
Thank you.
Oh, you have a question?
Yeah, one question. So, I'm not sure for how many days I'm on trial. I think so it's 3 days. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so once the 3 days is over, what is the next step for me to kind of like get going?
You just have to like click on the I think Erica, I think we're set up to, like, when people end the 3-day trial, they're supposed to get an email with like how to sign up for the $15 a month version, but that is also shared in the WhatsApp chat. And it's also, I can like put the link in this chat too.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. You just like go and you click on the full.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it in this chat too.
So click on and join over there.
Yeah, you just like and then this gives you like $15 a month, and then you can cancel it at any point through WAP.
And that money goes to your Discord. Is that what's happening, or whoop?
Yeah, I mean it comes to me eventually after WAP takes its cut, but yes.
No, I'm just wanted to make sure that the amount, when we have to pay it,
It's
being
$15
correct?
a month, and it's through credit card. So it's
Oh,
just yeah.
okay, so it will show up how to kind of like pay for it. Am I right? Through that
Yeah, I
link?
mean I mean it's all pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure that they don't need to Zelle or anything like
No,
that.
it's not. I mean, Zelle, this process is set up for automation.
Automate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And in this group, you are pretty much, we talk about what to buy, what not to buy.
Well, and
Basically.
strategies and like what's happening really. I think at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you really have to like be aware of what is happening on a very, very like close basis because stuff is constantly changing. Like I was
Mhm.
talking about just this morning, um, there was a rumor floating that Trump is going to put all tariffs on a 90-day pause, and then the market just shot up, and then 15 minutes, like I don't know, like an hour later, they were like, no, that's not what's happening. And now we're looking at the China situation. So there's just so much to be aware of in the geopolitical scenario that
Mhm.
you really have to stay on. And we talk about, and in the Discord, we often talk about like economic indicators. And that's we're closely watching whatever the Fed does, because that also affects the market. So that it's not just stock tickers that we're talking about, but all of these events too.
Mhm.
And you need to be really, really paying close attention to everything to sort of maneuver in this market.
Okay.
Like something could happen right now. I could like get like a piece of news that's like makes me certain that the market's going to tank. And at that point, I might like try to go sell whatever I have is at a profit, if I can still sell it at a profit, with
Mhm.
the intent of like rebuying it when it drops to the price that I had it at. So that's
Okay.
sort of like you have to have that nimbleness.
Mm. Got it. All right, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you post the link to the Discord and WhatsApp? Do you mean the webinar? Or the V is asking, can you post the link to the Discord and the WhatsApp? Are you asking for the webinar setup chat where people go through to pay for the classes?
Yes.
Oh yeah, cool. Let me just get that and are you in the Stock Talk for Women chat?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. Let me. Jeez. Hmm. I'm so clumsy with this. Help. Okay. Here's the link to the webinar setup chat where you can get added for the classes. And about the classes, I will say this. The way I'm doing it right now is that I am just I have recordings for my previous sessions. And when people pay, I just give them access to the recording so they can listen to the recording from the old class. And then they can retake the next class live when it happens. And I think the next batches are towards the end of April. And then once they listen to the class, to the lecture, then I give them like a 60-day free access to the Discord. So like that's about a $30 value. So then they're in the support group for like 2 months. And then once they're done with the free support, they can like join back if they want. And that honestly is the best way to do this, in my opinion. And if that is it, we will wrap up here. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Jay.
Mhm.